Welcome, everyone, to another fascinating journey into the world of rare coins, where a tiny piece of copper that you might overlook every day could turn out to be worth an unimaginable fortune. And today we are diving deep into the story of the incredible 1988 1 cent coin that has stunned collectors and numismatists worldwide by reaching an astonishing value of $8 million dollars due to its extraordinary minting errors, mysterious variations, and the intriguing history that surrounds it. So, sit tight and let's explore why this humble penny has become one of the most talked about treasures in the coin collecting community. A story that blends history, science, chance, and pure luck into one of the most captivating tales ever told in the world of coins. Because the 1988 Lincoln cent might look like an ordinary coin to the untrained eye, but hidden within its copper-plated zinc surface are secrets that have fascinated experts and collectors for decades, turning it into a piece of numismatic legend. One that makes us rethink how a small mistake at the U.S. Mint can transform something meant for pocket change into a multi-million-dollar artifact that collectors are desperate to own. The story of the 1988 penny begins with the transition era in coin minting, a time when the U.S. Mint was constantly refining designs, updating dies, and perfecting the balance between precision and mass production. But as with any process involving millions of coins, human error and mechanical imperfections sometimes created unique varieties, and one such accidental masterpiece emerged from this period. The 1988 penny featuring the now famous 1988 with 1989 reverse error, a mix-up so subtle that for years it went unnoticed, yet so significant that when discovered, it sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. This variety, often referred to as the 1988 reverse of 1989 Lincoln cent, became legendary because it was produced when the mint accidentally used the reverse die intended for the 1989 penny on some 1988 issues, resulting in coins that carried features from two different years, effectively creating a hybrid coin that shouldn't exist. The easiest way to identify this rare variety lies in the design details of the reverse, specifically in the style of the lettering and the shape of the FG initials located near the Lincoln Memorial, representing the initials of Frank Gasparo, the coin's designer. And this is where the magic happens because the 1988 cent with the 1989 reverse shows the updated, more delicate, and refined FG design that was introduced in 1989 instead of the thicker and more spaced-out version found on regular 1988 reverses. Collectors who spotted this difference were holding history in their hands, for they had found a transitional error, one of the rarest types of mint mistakes, created when the mint switches designs or dies between production years, and a few stray strikes happen with mismatched combinations. Transitional errors are so rare because they usually occur for a very short period before the mistake is noticed and corrected, and only a small number of such coins ever make it out into circulation, making them exceptionally valuable to collectors. The 1988 reverse of 1989 penny is one such transitional anomaly that has achieved mythical status due to its extreme rarity and the difficulty of identifying it without close magnification. For years, many people spent these coins without realizing their worth, and some still lie hidden in old jars, drawers, and rolls, waiting for a lucky finder to uncover a fortune in copper and zinc. The fascination grows when we realize that not all 1988 pennies were created equal. They were minted at multiple locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and each facility had slightly different production quirks that could add even more intrigue to specific examples, such as double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet anomalies. Some collectors claim to have discovered 1988 pennies with striking errors so severe that the coin's surface reveals dramatic doubling in the lettering of Liberty or In God We Trust, creating a bold, eye-catching distortion that can drive values up exponentially depending on the clarity of the error and its visibility without magnification. Others have found examples struck on the wrong planchet, meaning a 1988 Lincoln cent struck on a dime or foreign coin blank, resulting in undersized or lighter coins that are truly one of a kind. Each of these errors adds another layer of mystique and possibility to the legend of the 1988 cent, proving that no two coins are exactly alike when it comes to minting quirks. What makes the $8 million valuation especially intriguing is that it isn't just about metal or age. It's about rarity, uniqueness, and the story behind the coin. When a transitional or major mint error like this surfaces, its worth skyrockets because collectors know that the odds of another existing in such pristine condition are almost zero. And when competition among high-end collectors or museums heats up, bidding wars can send prices into the stratosphere, leading to astonishing figures like $8 million for a single cent. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that has traveled through decades, survived the odds, and now stands as a testament to history's perfect accident. That is what makes the 1988 1-cent coin so valuable. Not just its physical composition, but its identity as a rare witness to a pivotal moment in the evolution of American coinage. The 1980s were a turbulent and transformative period for the U.S. Mint, with technological upgrades, die refinements, and shift from copper to copper-plated zinc beginning in 1982. So by 1988, production had become faster, but also more prone to occasional missteps as new machines and techniques were integrated. It is during this chaotic dance between innovation and precision that the 1988/1989 die mix-up occurred, and the few coins that escaped quality control became priceless artifacts of minting history. Even beyond the transitional reverse, other fascinating varieties from 1988 exist, including double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile or the inscriptions show faint doubling due to die misalignment during production, off-center strikes, where part of the design spills off the edge of the coin, broad strikes where the rim is missing, and even clipped planchets where the coin appears to have a crescent-shaped bite taken out of it due to overlapping metal sheets during blanking. Each type of error tells its own story of how human oversight and machine malfunction can combine to produce something both imperfect and extraordinary, turning simple metal discs into valuable collector's items. The value of these coins also depends on condition, known as the grade, which is assessed by experts at grading services such as PCGS and NGC. A 1988 transitional error penny graded as mint state 67 or higher could easily break records because pristine surfaces amplify rarity, making such examples the holy grail for collectors. It's fascinating how a small detail, like the difference between two letters or a faint doubling, can make or break a coin's value by thousands or even millions of dollars. Stories circulate about lucky individuals who found one of these rare 1988 pennies while sorting change, unaware they were holding a life-changing treasure. And when they submitted it for authentication, they discovered it was one of the elusive transitional errors now valued in the millions. These stories fuel the passion of thousands of hobbyists who check every penny they come across, hoping to be the next lucky discoverer. The allure of the 1988 cent also lies in its mystery. Exactly how many exist, no one knows for certain, but estimates suggest only a few dozen authentic transitional varieties have been confirmed, making them rarer than many gold coins or historical artifacts. That rarity drives intense competition at auctions, where collectors and investors recognize the long-term potential of owning a unique coin that will only grow more famous over time. Imagine a future where numismatists write books about the rarest transitional coins of the 20th century, and the 1988 cent sits proudly among them as one of the most coveted. The $8 million figure, while staggering, reflects more than just market hype. It symbolizes the value that humans attach to rarity, error, and the beauty of imperfection. In a world of mass production, the few coins that break the mold remind us of the artistry and fallibility of craftsmanship, of how mistakes can create masterpieces. The next 1995 1-cent USA coin today, we dive deep into one of the most fascinating stories in the world of rare coins, a story that has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. The incredible tale of the 1995 1-cent coin that is said to be worth an astonishing $8 million due to its errors, mistakes, and unique characteristics that make it one of the most talked about coins in numismatic history. Imagine holding an ordinary-looking penny in your hand, a coin you might have easily overlooked, one that you might have used to buy a piece of candy or dropped on the sidewalk without a second thought, yet discovering that this tiny copper-plated zinc piece carries a hidden value beyond imagination. A story of minting errors, production anomalies, and mysterious variations that turn this small cent into a treasure worth millions. The 1995 1-cent coin, minted by the United States Mint, became legendary because of one very specific and famous error known as the 1995 double die obverse, where the design on the obverse side, particularly the inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust, appeared doubled, clearly visible to the naked eye and distinguishable from normal strike coins, giving it a rare and mesmerizing look that sets it apart from the billions of standard pennies struck that year. This doubling was not just a minor imperfection. It represented a mechanical slip during the die-making process, a tiny moment when the die used to strike the coins received a misalignment or double impression, leading to a visual doubling effect that turned what was once considered a minting flaw into a collector's dream. What makes the 1995 1-cent coin even more fascinating is that it was among the last major double die coins recognized by the U.S. Mint before significant technological changes were made in the production process to prevent such occurrences in the future, making this error not only visually distinct but historically significant as well. Over the years, collectors and coin experts have analyzed every aspect of this coin's creation, tracing its origin back to the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of coins were struck in 1995, but only a small fraction exhibited the double die error, making those particular examples exceedingly rare and valuable. The demand for such coins skyrocketed after they were discovered and verified by numismatic authorities, as collectors realized that finding one of these coins in circulation was like winning a small lottery. However, the story doesn't end with the known double die obverse version. There are also other lesser-known error variations from 1995 that have surfaced, adding more intrigue to the legend of this coin. Some examples show off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing or shifted due to improper alignment during striking, while others reveal planchet errors, with a blank metal disc used to make the coin was defective, leading to odd shapes, clipped edges, or unusual textures. There are even cases of broad strike errors, where the collar that holds the planchet in place fails, causing the coin to spread out wider and flatter than normal. Each of these errors adds to the mystique of the 1995 1-cent and plays a role in determining how such a small denomination could command such astronomical prices at auctions and among collectors. When experts evaluate the value of such a coin, they consider not only the rarity of the error, but also the coin's condition, grading, and eye appeal. Coins in mint state condition, especially those graded MS 65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, have fetched incredible sums. In the case of the most flawless and dramatic examples of the double die obverse 1995 1-cent, pristine specimens have been known to sell for tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars in some auctions, and speculative discussions among collectors and investors have driven the perceived value up to as high as $8 million for a coin in near-perfect, museum-worthy condition combined with an extraordinary provenance or discovery story. Imagine the excitement of someone discovering such a coin in an old jar, a cash register, or a forgotten roll of pennies, not realizing they were holding a piece of minting history. Many stories have circulated of individuals finding 1995 double die cents in change during the late 1990s, sending them for grading and realizing their true worth only years later when demand and awareness surged. This discovery led to a boom in coin collecting interest, with even casual hobbyists inspecting their spare change under magnifying glasses, hoping to find the telltale doubling on Liberty or the date. The allure of the 1995 1-cent coin lies not only in its rarity, but also in the human fascination with mistakes that turn ordinary objects into treasures. Every minting error tells a story of imperfection, a moment where precision machinery faltered just enough to create something truly unique, and the 1995 penny embodies that narrative perfectly. For a coin that typically costs only 1 cent to produce and use, to ascend to a valuation of millions is a testament to how scarcity, story, and collector passion intertwine to create value far beyond the face denomination. The coin's legend has also been fueled by its context in American history. The mid-1990s was a period of transition for the U.S. Mint, with new technology being introduced to minimize human error. Yet, paradoxically, it was during this shift that one of the most famous errors in modern coinage appeared, as if the machines themselves were leaving behind a signature of the old era before full automation took over. For some collectors, owning a 1995 double die penny is like holding a relic of the last age of imperfection, a small piece of time frozen in metal that represents both craftsmanship and chance. Furthermore, there are layers of speculation about other types of 1995 errors that could exist but remain undiscovered, like possible die cracks, repunched mint marks, or transitional errors where blank from a different metal composition were accidentally used. Each theoretical variation adds to the sense of mystery surrounding the 1995 cent, making collectors constantly on the lookout for new finds that could rewrite the coin's value tables once again. Even minor differences in toning, luster, or striking pressure can alter a coin's appeal, and in the case of such an iconic era year, every small deviation is examined under microscopes and magnification lights by experts hoping to spot something previously unseen. The coin's fame has extended beyond the numismatic community into mainstream media and online auctions, where hype and rarity often collide to produce astonishing valuations. Some private collectors have paid staggering sums not only for the coin itself, but for its provenance, the story of where and how it was found, the sequence of ownership, and even its journey through grading and authentication. In rare collectibles, story often equals value, and few coins carry a story as rich and fascinating as the 1995 1 cent. Moreover, the double die effect on the 1995 cent is especially striking compared to many earlier or later examples because it affects such prominent features of the obverse design. On many specimens, the word liberty appears almost as if shadowed by a second image, giving the coin a 3D effect that is easily noticeable without magnification, which is rare in itself. This visibility has contributed significantly to its popularity because even novice collectors can identify the error. In contrast, many other double dies require close inspection under magnification, but the 1995 variety practically announces itself, making it both a great educational piece for beginners and a highly coveted trophy for experts. Beyond the obvious doubling, microscopic analysis has revealed fascinating details about the striking process, such as tiny ridges, flow lines, and minute imperfections that tell the story of the immense pressure used in minting and the slight misalignment that caused the doubling. Each of these physical traces acts like forensic evidence of the coin's birth, a metallic fingerprint of the moment error met art. Collectors and historians often romanticize this as a perfect marriage of accident and design, transforming an everyday object into a piece of history.